Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
You're watching a Fact TV presentation of the Wyndham Northeast Unified Elementary School District.
I call the meeting to order for Athens Grafton School District, July 17th at 6:12. I'm Kathy Siano Goodwin from Grafton.
Rachel Plummer, Grafton.
Hardy Merrill, Grafton.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
No.
The only thing I wanted to add was playground, grounds, building and grounds update under old business. Let's see. Any other adjustments? If not, anybody out in the community that have any questions or concerns for us? I don't see anybody.
I think you would have to wait to do the minutes for next time as well.
Okay. Because we don't have a quorum tonight, we can't approve the minutes of June 8th. We do have a principal's report and we do have a finance report. I think everybody's read their July report. We have enrollment of 33. Projections have changed on the document shared with each of you here. Next year's kindergarten will now have 7 students and not the 9. Septic pumps have arrived. Gary is looking to schedule the installation in mid-August. Playground materials should be ordered within the next couple of weeks. Angela communicated with Bob from Miracle Recreation last week and was told that at this point, playground materials would arrive in January. Typically, they don't install in the winter due to weather. Staffing, music opening next year, 2 days a week, 0.40 position. We have an applicant that will be interviewed and will reach out to get the board representation. Special education for the SU position, full-time retirement, held interviews. Stacy is negotiating with the hiring agency. And the library, Diane Paulette from Saxons River is coming to Grafton for 1 day a week on Wednesday. We cannot, because of our low quorum tonight, cannot appoint her until next month. Any questions, concerns?
No.
Okay. Update on playground. I think in Angela's report, she just did that. I believe the after-school program, still, they're working on getting someone to do the program, and I understand we do have the funds.
Did you skip the finance report?
Oh, sorry, finance report. Sorry.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
I've been working with Jim quite extensively every couple of weeks down at the business office. And we ended up the year with this year with a positive balance or surplus of, it appears, of 177,608. In addition to that, this last week we received word from the Department of Education that they had shortchanged us on the small school grant by the tune of $45,549. So we're getting that money in addition, which will give us this year a total surplus of $223,157. I also have a schedule which I'll hand out here, which tells us what our total surplus is. The chair gets the one with the blue lining. Would you like a
I would, thank you.
So the important things are right across the top to start with, which is our balance from the 2021 surplus was $350,330. And we have, through warrants, identified where we wanted to spend that money this past year, which was $75,000 is going to reduce this year's school budget, $150,000 for a capital reserve, and surplus used for tuition reserve, $14,140. That came from 2020 when we were combined with Westminster, and that was voted upon by the board at that time. And then a small surplus for the capital reserve of the same year, $3,417. And then we identified that for the 2026 budget, we would put aside $150,000, of which 107 came from the 22-21 surplus and 42,000 from the 22 surplus. Now that 22 surplus is $242,460. And then if you add in the next surplus, 223,157, you can see right now, because we haven't spent anything yet, we're sitting on $815,947 of surpluses for this school alone. So after you take away what we've already identified we were going to spend, you still have an additional $423,390, which we need to allocate. We'll have to probably allocate that this year sometime, board meeting.
Tell me that number again, do we have to allocate 423,390?
Well, 423,390, which is the money that we have not identified for anything particular. And that will have to go to the town, that's part of the town. We'd say, this is what we'd like to do with it, you agree? But that'll be in next year's budget.
24,
March.
25. Okay.
Now, the other two things that we have here is the WNSU had a surplus this year for 22 of $1,740,807. Now, we get 5.7% of that roughly because of the amount of money that we have put in. That they charge us each year so much money for the services they provide, and that's like 5.7%. So that would yield us another $99,793 that we're going to get. And we had already planned to use a portion of that to offset this year's budget. We had 80,000 in there. So we're going to need that. The other key thing is the WNSU this year, in my opinion, and talking with Jim, we're probably going to be going the other way. Instead of a surplus, we're going to have probably a negative amount, mainly in transportation and food service. So, so we're going to have to provide money to go back to pay our share, which is going to be roughly 5.7% back to them to cover whatever the variance is, which is unknown at this point in time. Now, the other anomaly that we have found in the WNSU, which Jim is trying to get rectified, is that they have a summer food program surplus of $796,284, which nobody seems to know where that came from. This is what the auditors are saying. So he's trying to get that reclassed back to the general fund. If he does that, then we're going to get a little bit more, like another 45,000 coming back to us. So that's basically, where we are financially, which is in pretty good shape for the short term, medium term.
Now, what about monies for repairs? We talked the last meeting we had was the parking lot and the painting of the building.
Yeah,
Where was that money going to come from?
would come from this, unless it comes from ESSER, which, I don't know what the status of the ESSER is project wise. Andy was going to give a list of the projects we came up with at the last meeting to the gentleman who was running the ESSER.
Right.
To analyze what it should be for these projects that we have, and then see what happens from there. So I don't know that anything has been done since you asked.
I haven't heard anything either, but I know it was mentioned last time that if the bid was over 30,000 or 40,000 on painting, it would have to go out to bid.
Yes, if it's 40,000 or over.
Right.
I don't know what the status of that is.
Well, thank you, Hardy, for that information. Any questions from anybody? Yeah. Mm. Um, as far as updating the building and grounds and repairs, again, we still have questions. We don't have anyone here that can answer them. We could pass that on to the next agenda next month. New business and discussion and action. I don't know if we can do very much action, but I do need to report that Harold Noyes has resigned from the board as chair, and we have a vacancy in Athens for a seat. We do need to appoint a vice chair, but I understand we can't do that tonight.
I think you could possibly appoint, and then at the next meeting, if you guys want to vote on it, you can do that, or you can just wait to the next meeting. It's an appointment. I don't know if you need a consensus.
I would say wait
Yeah.
Right.
until
Till we have a
Athens has
full-
their say.
Right. Yeah. One sided right now. Good point.
Could you, Nicole, put a notice out to the, Athens Board of Selectmen to, if they have any appointments for the vacancy, to let the superintendent know?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll post that there's a vacancy. We'll do it on our website as well. We'll post it in our building and to the town of Athens. They're aware of it, but we'll get a formal posting out there so people that are interested can send in their letter of interest to the superintendent.
And along with that, do we have to wait on the accepting the resignation of Harold?
I don't think so. I mean, you can't really vote on it. He has resigned, so there's an open seat.
No, it's a moot point, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to follow
Yeah.
the rules here.
Yeah. No, I think it's a moot point.
So with that, the librarian would, again, our next meeting, would appoint that person or accept her as the assignment here at school for one day as a librarian. Anything else that we need to add to this agenda, or anything you want to say? Or can we go to director's comments?
I think it's summertime and, people are acting like it's summer.
Right.
Mhm.
How about you, Rachel?
Just hope, maybe at our next meeting, we can kind of hit the ground running and
Yeah.
get some things done.
Right. I agree. It's nice to have a full board when we do meet. And I wish the best to Harold with his decision and especially with his health. So our next meeting would be August 10th.
I second those comments about Harold. He's had many years of service to the school.
Right.
Not while I've been on it, but in other years, I know going back history wise. And of course, we're on the select board in Athens, so wish him well and we'll hope a speedy recovery is in order.
Yep. Okay, with that, next month, we've got August 10th at 6 here at the Grafton Elementary School. And again, hoping for a full board. Thank you for joining us. And I need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I need a second. Okay, so moved. Everybody have a good night, safe journey. Supposed to get more storms, more rain.
At least it's not boring when we leave, yeah.
It was
We haven't got out
great.
to our car.
I
yet.
know.
Right.
It's been today.
Thank you, Fact TV.
Thank you, Nicole, for everything.
This meeting was recorded by Falls Area Community Television, located at 1 Hospital Court, Bellows Falls, Vermont. If you would like a copy of the meeting, our phone number is 802-463-1613, or email us at fact810@gmail.com. Falls Area Community TV, keeping government honest.